The senior pastor of House of the Rock Church, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, turned himself into the police for interrogation with respect to a viral video in which he was seen to have pointed a gun-like stuff at a content creator who was doing his own thing on the streets. And I saw a video where Pastor Paul, said in church that he didn't point a gun at that person, that he doesn't possess, he doesn't have firearms. However, the police, in the course of their interrogation and investigation, discovered that it was a prohibited stun gun. And for those of you who don't know what a stun gun is, this is it beside me. That's a stun gun. A stun gun is, it delivers electric shock, which temporarily deactivates the functionality of the tendons and muscles of whoever the victim is, and that is just to to safeguard oneself. But then it's a prohibited weapon. However, when Pastor Paul turned himself in, the police recovered that weapon from him. Even though Pastor Paul did not say in church that it was a stun gun, he simply said that he didn't point a firearm at the person, which was true. But I think he should have gone a step further, because his statement in church that day kept a lot of people, except for his followers, who would just feel that, well, pastor, just go on, don't worry, don't mind them, and all of that. But every other person outside there must have been wondering, why would pastor point anything at anybody? Why would he point? Was there any reason for that? In fact, that's my question. I hardly, take on leaders like this, but it's all over the place. Did pastor need to do that? Did he need to point that at anybody? It wasn't like that content creator was expecting you to be on the road that day. That person, you don't have, your car does not, I'm sure you are not the only one that drives that kind of range, in town. And I'm sure, there are other people who own that same type of car. That guy who was recording was not even probably expecting you to be on the road. Let's just say that he was expecting that you are the one coming, and so he wanted the recording and all of that. You are the one who wound down. So even if pastor had just passed, nobody would have known that he was the one. It will have just been an issue of the car, admiration of the car and all of that. I don't know what the content creator was trying to achieve though, but then there was really no need to have pointed. There was no threat. There was no threat to life. There was no threat to your car, because vehicles were passing and all of that. It wasn't, the person was even at a distance from pastor's vehicle. So I really didn't see any reason for winding down. You are the one. It was pastor who slowed down. You slowed down, you wound down and pointed that thing at this fellow. Even though it was though the police said that this stun gun is a weapon that just temporarily, just to keep somebody under check, so that if it needs to be arrested, it can be arrested, and it's just a temporary thing. It hardly causes any harm or damage to his victim, but just to just sends electric shock through the fellow. It's natural for anyone who is shocked by electricity who have this feeling. Yes, feel free to drop your comment, make them simple and simple, because we don't know how far this will go. And I really did not talk about it even from the beginning. But then now that he's turned himself into the police, and this has been recovered from him, we don't know how far this will go. Feel free to drop your comment, make them simple and simple. Let us know what your opinions are. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.